Anne Frank, The Diary of a Young Girl, the story of a teenage Jewish girl in hiding with her family in Nazi-occupied Amsterdam, is known all over the world. In 1952, the Pulitzer Prize and Tony Award-winning play The Diary of Anne Frank opened on Broadway with Susan Strasberg in the title role. Well, this Thursday, Natalie Portman makes her Broadway debut playing the young girl in a new adaptation of that play. Natalie, it's great seeing you. Welcome back to Today.
Thank you.
I understand you've wanted to do some kind of project concerning Anne Frank since you were about 12. Why is that?
Well, I read the diary when I was 12 while I was filming The Professional in France, and I became so connected to the material, and it's very close to my own family history because a lot of my family was killed in the Holocaust, and I think it's just a really important message to bring to people and keep reminding people about the wrongs of, hatred and racism.
Your dad is Israeli.
Yes.
Your mother is American.
Yes.
I understand that the character of Anne Frank that you bring to Broadway, or that at least this play depicts, is a little bit different than the one we may be familiar with. How is that?
Well, the Anne Frank that we've been presented with in the past has been this kind of saintly image of this young girl, and we wanted to present her as a real person. I mean, she was a very, very good person and an amazingly talented writer, but she was not a saint. And I mean, I think it's wrong to present people's icons as kind of saints because then they feel like they can't achieve that goodness
So what
themselves.
kind of flaws do you show then?
She's very outgoing and hyper, almost to, when she was younger, almost to an irritating point where you just can't deal with her because she's got so much energy, and she's also, very outspoken, speaks her mind, kind of before her time, because in that day, children really weren't supposed to be heard.
There's even some reference to her emerging sexuality
Yes.
in this play, which was not present in the past.
Yes. Well, it's a big part of the diary. A lot of it was cut out from the original publication by her father. But it was put back in the newest edition of the book, and we put it into the play.
After reading the diary, you did get to go to Amsterdam
Yes.
and visit the Anne Frank house
Yes.
with one of the hiders, Miep.
Yes.
How was it to actually stand in the place that you'd read about?
It was amazing. I had been there once before while I was reading the book initially, but when I went back a second time, knowing that I was going to be playing Anne Frank, it was just the most amazing feeling, because you're standing in a place and you know that 50 years ago there was a young girl who was just trying to grow up and not being able to have a normal growing up because of the Nazis, and it was really emotionally amazing, especially being there with Miep.
The feeling you got in the pit of your stomach while you were there in that house, how difficult is it to get the audience on Broadway to feel that same knot in their stomach after seeing this play?
It's a challenge to bring it to an audience because you want the audience to really be moved by it because it is such an important story, and you want them to learn from it, but also to enjoy the experience because it's not just a sad play. I mean, there's a lot of life. These are 8 people, and you can't live in a small place with 8 people. You can't go outside, and you can't live in a very depressed way. You have to have humor, and so there's very funny parts in the show too.
But I would imagine people are maybe a little uncomfortable about laughing.
Yeah,
during
in
this.
the beginning, the audiences are always very tentative to laugh, but as it goes on, they get very free with it, and I mean, sometimes we have to have long pauses between lines because they're just laughing so hard.
This is your Broadway debut.
Yes.
I think you open Thursday night,
Yes.
Is that right? Are you nervous?
A little bit, but it's really exciting for me. I'm having a lot of fun doing this. We have an amazing cast, and the audiences are really responding well to it, so I'm very pleased.
I mentioned when I was outside talking about the fact that you were going to be here, that you were here 3 years ago for The Professional.
Yes.
You were 13 at the time, you're 16 now. How has your daily life changed based on what's happened to you and all your success?
I still have the same friends, and I live in the same house.
That's good
and
to
I
hear.
go to the same public school, and it's mainly changed and just growing up like a regular person.
But people still treat you the same?
Yeah, I mean, everyone really treats me the same. My schedule recently has been a little more hectic than usual because I have to juggle school and the show, but it's mainly stayed the same.
And after the nerve-wracking debut on Thursday, the next real big event you face is SATs, right?
Yes.
And they killed me, so good luck to you.
Thank you.
It's great to see you, Natalie.